And here I am recording again. This is the second day in a row. So that's good. Hopefully I remember tomorrow to be like it's the third day now or whatever. And I checked a little bit of the beginning of the footage from yesterday, and it looked like I pardon me, it looked like I captured a little bit of that spider, but not anything in focus. But you could kind of see it like making that soft noise. I don't know if it picked up the noise or not, but I could hear it, and you could see it moving like its front legs. I think that's what it was. There's going to be a lot of repetitive stuff that happens in these videos every single day because life can get repetitive. So I'm a very minimalist person. I'm always myself. So these recordings are gonna be as close to myself as possible. I would love for them to eventually, when I'm used to doing this, when I have the sense nailed down, to take out the device and start recording, that it'll just be part of me. Like when I start thinking of stuff, instead I will start speaking about it and recording it, because there's like a ton of stuff that happens in my mind. I'm sure it happens in everybody's mind. Interesting things and non-interesting things. I talk to many people each day. I have many different thoughts. I do a lot of different mundane things, but I do a lot of stuff that takes a lot of struggle with the things that are going on with me. And yeah, I might just be talking about going to the grocery store. Like this dude at the grocery store yesterday, I was looking for liver, and he was just so happening to be looking for liver too. I picked up the chicken liver, and he was like, "We're gonna get this for the dog." And I was like, "Hey man, I've been trying to look for the beef liver. Did you pass it?" He said no, and went out of his way to start like looking for me, which is cool. So I'm getting a phone call, but I don't know if it will show in the recording. Hopefully not, and hopefully I can still be heard right now. My phone's not breaking because of it. But anyway, the guy was like, he ended up finding the beef liver for me, because I wanted to start having a little bit of it each day for the micronutrients, and it's super cheap, so that was cool. And I try to do the exact same thing with people, help them out or learn from somebody each day. So the whole point of all this recording stuff, and sadly it's not going to pick up everything in my day. I'm not going to be one of those people that, like, it can be kind of like a vlog, like it's a video log of the day, but it's not going to be different parts in different part of the day. Like, I would like to do that. I have thought of and rethought of and planned and replanned and adjusted and just never started to do the YouTube stuff. So yeah, I would love to be able to be like, okay, now I'm going to the grocery store, now I'm going to exercise, now I'm going to walk the dog, now I'm going to do the cat litter, or whatever. Now I'm thinking heavily, now I'm reading, now I'm watching YouTube, here's the video, now I'm, whatever. Maybe at some point I'll be able to do that, but right now, with it not being a habit and not being an addiction and not being something that I'm super familiar with, just a low camera angle in a car or sitting down or in a bed, depending on where it is that I'm having trouble moving and functioning in the day, is where I'm gonna record from. I'm gonna use this to achieve what I've always wanted to achieve, which is being able to just live, not having to go somewhere, go to this place at this exact time, focus your entire day and your entire life and all of your relationships and all of your errands and all the things that you like to do around this one extremely repetitive thing in your life. You can't do anything during this time. You can't go anywhere. This is what this is going to be. It's going to allow me to just exist, just live, do the things that I want to do. I've always done that. There has been many concessions made, times that I do not want to do things that need to be done for work and otherwise, and yeah, I understand that the lighting keeps changing. So because the sun's going down, so it's gonna keep flickering back and forth. The beginning videos are not gonna be perfect. This is why I was like, I've always been not hesitant, but just reluctant to even start doing the YouTube stuff, because I'm like, this is what I want to do. Then I'll overthink it, that's what I want to do. Then I'll see something else and be inspired and be like, that's what I want to do. And every time I'm like, well, it needs to be a certain way when I start. No, it doesn't. It's just like anything else. Exercising needs to be the perfect routine. No, it doesn't. We just have to start, to be consistent. Nutrition, I have to make sure that I eat beef every other day, and I drink milk every other day, and I get my micronutrients perfect. If that's what you want to do, cool. I can be like that, but it doesn't need to be perfect immediately. You know how many times I've changed everything? You don't know. I don't even know. If I had to guess, it'd be probably near 100 times, somewhere around there. Not a number that's insane, but probably somewhere in the large range of 50 to 100 times, where I'm adjusting, reevaluating, and determining it based on what I like to eat, what I need to eat, what will benefit me, what will make my desire to eat this specific thing go away. I feel like having spicy food or sour food, and I'm like, okay, if I include this, then it will get rid of that desire. If I include that, it'll get rid of my caveman brain to eat this other shitty food or whatever. So I'm going on tangents, but that's what I'm going to be doing every single day, because my brain just functions on tangents. The strings in my brain, string theory, I guess, or a spider web or a tree or whatever, are just bound by tangents and many different ideas, and I constantly am writing down my ideas and reevaluating. Oh yeah, I forgot, in yesterday's recording, I remembered, like, right after I stopped recording that I didn't say how my phone flew out of the vehicle. The side door of the vehicle that I'm working on is, it was just ever so slightly cracked open because it had to be held together with straps. And yes, somehow when I made that sharp turn that I was talking about, it flew past everything that was in the middle, past the passenger seat, past everything in that vehicle, and somehow went through the tiny crease in the rear, sliding very perfectly shaped door part, which is insane. And I don't think that I depicted that very well. I'm just gonna keep talking about different things that I think of. Over time, I will be able to, like, master it, where my speaking and recording is the same thing as my thinking. That'd be amazing. If I could just hook up, like, a microphone into my brain and just record what I think of, it'd be so wild and so interesting. To me, at least. I don't really care if anybody else thinks the same way, but the camera would be cool too, but it would just show, like, multiple different parts of the brain highlighting at different times. But yeah, I'm gonna use this to get where I want to be, do what I need to do, and nobody else can determine what that is. I've had, like, an insane amount of epiphanies throughout my life, especially the last few years with things going on. I'll probably go into detail about the same things multiple times, and hopefully through the process of learning this I can not be as repetitive. But just gotta be very patient. My patience stat is insane. It is maxed out, like in a Souls game. So see me make decisions, see what I'm doing, witness it as I go from not much to something. I've always become better throughout my life, and that's what I'm going to keep doing every single day, no matter what. There's a lot of different stuff that I want to do. I want to read every day. I love reading. I want to watch YouTube every day. I love it. I want to record to show that it's possible with these things going on, my mind, body, emotions, everything else, that it's still possible to be successful in any avenue of your life. You will see it throughout the years that I do this. I will see it. Be able to look back on it, it'll be insane. I should have been doing this since I was like 15 years old. Have fucking a few thousands of videos by now, but it's fine. This is the time that it needed to happen. It needed to happen like this, like the universe or my body or whatever I am was building up to this, and I can feel it. I've been extremely in tune with, like, my brain, my heart, my gut, just my body, with everything going on, that I just have a really significant feeling about certain things now, like it's a sixth sense. Did I say that yesterday? I think that I did. I don't know. But yeah, I feel something is going to happen. Things always happen in my life, in everybody's life. Silly things happen to me a lot. Maybe they do to other people too, but it's going to be witnessed. Not exactly like the Truman Show, but to the extent to which I can make it, obvious to people in Raw and myself, and even if it's just an hour out of the day, it's gonna be real, impactful to myself at least. Absolutely. I'm gonna make it like I'm just reciting the thoughts in my head. Eventually, that's what it's gonna be. I have like a extremely distinct feeling that that's how it's gonna be eventually. I don't know why, and I can't explain it. And I could be ridiculous and wrong, but that's how it feels. And I have to not let silly things like moving the recording to my PC or getting a cheap SD card or whatever to store it and move it and post it and whatever. Not let things like that come in the way of it. My brain go in the way of it. Even if I can't function, I need to show it. Like, I can just talk about the things in my life, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to describe how I was in a vehicle going to the hardware store and searching and walking through the store, and I had to ask someone where something was and analyze what row this specific item that I might need would be. Like, that's for streaming, but like what is that called? It's live streaming, but what is it called when people walk around? It doesn't matter. I got new jeans today as a gift. Mine are torn up. You can see like my underwear in certain spots. Not in any weird spots, just from putting my wallet in the same spot for years and things like that. I had some candy today. Yeah. I think my buddy's back. But give me a second. Yeah, give me a second. Where's the leak, man?
Leak.
I'll be in a little bit. I just let the dogs out and stuff.
Very good, bro.
Thank you. I'll come. Is that from the place?
Yeah, take it. Just take it.
Thank you. Do not love it when people do favors for me, but I've been appreciating it more these past few years. That's actually, I don't know if that's even accurate. Maybe this like past year or two. So I don't remember exactly what I was talking about, but I'm gonna keep doing this. keep doing what I need to do every single day, it'll become more apparent by what I mean through each time that I record, even if people don't understand it at first or I don't agree with how I'm doing it. I can still just evolve it from where it's starting right now, and it's gonna be better and better. It's for myself. So difficult to describe how my brain thinks of things and show what I mean, but I think essentially I think what I'm gonna do is just maybe describe the previous day or something, but yeah, really good, extremely good people in my life. Like I pretty much have everything that I want in my life aside from a slight handful of things that I'll get into more detail at a later time. But yeah, extremely good friends that are like brothers and sisters, and extremely good immediate family, and cats that are my family. Yeah. I have all the things that I want. I don't even have that much stuff. I'm just so minimal, but like I have the things that I function with throughout my life, and I don't have any material desire, never have, really, aside from fleeting ones where I'm like, oh yeah, I want that Souls game. I'll wait for it to go on sale or whatever, and if I can play a game with a person, since that doesn't happen very much lately anymore, or I feel like reading that book or whatever, or starting my recording. Have you been doing that? No, but it's getting back to it right now. Extremely real, extremely myself, and in the situations that I'm in. And I'm gonna forget, and I need to not be upset that I forget to describe certain things. It doesn't really matter that much. I can only describe and remember so much. Will not let that sway me from beginning and continuing this stuff. It ends up never happening. This should have happened years ago, starting this stuff, but it doesn't matter. I don't really think about it like that anyway. It's just funny to think about. You can think about that with anything in your life, career or recording or doing a sport, having a relationship, getting a thing, exercising, doing something you want to do. Like anybody can be like, I should have done it this time. Okay, well, how about instead of thinking about that forever and feeling poorly about it or feeling a certain way or planning forever so it can be perfect, how about you just do it? And that is what I've done for pretty much forever. Aside from things that are it's like significantly easier for me to do it for people that I care about. With the things going on with me, it's extremely difficult for me to do it for myself, where I'm like, do this thing, and I will do it, and I will be hypocritical by accident, where I'm like, maybe not by accident, doesn't make any sense, hypocritical without meaning to. That doesn't make any sense either. How am I trying to explain it? Hypocritical, where I intend to do the thing, but am unwilling to do it because because of how I'm feeling or whatever. So it's not purposeful, if that makes sense. Whatever, it makes sense in my head. So if I need to go into more detail about things, I'll realize it later. But yeah, great people. Talked to Mom today. She was having a really good day. Talked to my younger sister today. She was having a really good day. My grandma, Nan, we're doing really well. A couple of buddies. Hung out with the cats. Hung out with some buddies' dogs. Didn't really work on the vehicle today that I'm working on, but that's a big project that I'll go into detail of later. The whole reason why I'm in the position that I am right now is for this project, and should benefit my life. It will benefit my life with the idea that I have for all of it. And there's constant stress about having hundreds, maybe in the realm of like over 1,000 things on my list of things to do where they are blocked. They're like blocked by unlocking a zone in a DLC zone or whatever, where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna read this book, but I need to not be tired first. Okay, well, the reality is that I'm always tired, and so that's never gonna go away. It's funny when I start to go into detail like a story, like when I'm trying to talk to it about with someone else, I have a little bit more inflection, pretty stagnant and monotone, but a little bit more silly and dramatic tone when I go into detail. But so maybe I will record like phone conversations instead of myself just talking to myself. It's so easy to think to myself, but recording it is so much different. It's not like a perfect stream of words like I'm doing right now. It's my thoughts are just like lightning bolts, constant in different directions and different like dimensions. It's weird. Going from here, jumping to there, falling through there, whatever, in my head. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Yesterday I went to get paint stripping material, paint that you paint it on the paint of something, metal or wood or whatever, and then it starts to eat away at it, and you can kind of like scrape it off so that I can clean some rust, hopefully, and then reseal it and put rust, not deterrent, but rust preventative material, paint or whatever it is, and then paint over it with some sort of like kills or whatever it's called, where you get rid of smell and then also is a normal paint layer. Did that. Like I said, I got groceries. I brush the cats. Do that almost every single day. I try to do that every morning with them. Or I should rephrase it as, I do brush them every morning, unless something is going on. Like today, I forgot to brush my teeth and brush the cats in the morning, but I did when I got back from going to a different store. Curious to see if this recording like picks up the notifications that I get on my phone. Like hopefully it doesn't. But what else have I been thinking about? I'm gonna do with this project, removing major parts and replacing them with things, which is very interesting and I know nothing about, and I have to learn more so it can be safe and efficient and effective for what I'm trying to do. I also just am thinking that I forgot to eat my regular food that I eat, which is like a very specified amount of different vegetables and fruit and things that benefit my body for what I'm doing and for how I feel. And my stomach is always in pain, and eating this stuff doesn't make it worse and maybe makes it better for 2 or 3 hours. Definitely makes it flow better, and it just feels like a good process of eating the food. Like I eat it throughout about like 45 minutes to an hour it takes. I'm cutting things up, eating certain things at different times, and yeah, and I have everything that I feel like I need and want in that one like long meal that takes about an hour to eat. And I also watch like YouTube or read while I'm doing that, or talk on the phone. Usually one of the first two, because talking on the phone I have to stop eating and then it takes way longer. I don't want any of the vegetables and fruit and stuff to not be cold. And drink milk and water. And then for the rest of the day, I eat as long as I'm within the limit of like what the amount that I want to eat and allow myself to eat. I can pretty much have whatever. I will have like cereal and a specific like baby food blend that I found like right after I walk or exercise or exert like more energy than my body exerts by itself, and start feeling bad because body feels super sick and weak and unable to do the things that I want to do. And then I just eat what I need to eat, do what I try to do to the best of my ability, do what I need to do, because I know that there's people out there in significantly enormous, like horrifically worse scenarios and situations with their life or with their body or whatever it is going on with them than I am. So I'm like, I can do this. I have to have the willpower, like I have the perseverance, I have the determination. And when I do the things that I want to do or need to do, it's smooth, and a lot of times I get into a flow state. And when I start to feel worse, it kind of shuts off, and then it tumbles down, but I know that it gets picked back up when I feel like I can do it again, and I'm doing the things that I need to do with doctors and nutrition and exercise and relationships and things that I like to do to get where I need to be. And there's certain days where I don't, and that's okay, and everybody should realize, like, just because there's a day where you can't do a thing you need to do. See, this is the part where I'm being what's the word? hypocritical. This is where I'm being hypocritical, where I'm just like, I can be a person that vividly describes like what a person should do to make their life better and things like that, and then I'm unable to do it, not out of laziness, but there's times where I'm unable to do it because of whatever's going on with me, and I have to remind myself that it's fine. And people should be reminding themselves that it's fine. You have to force yourself sometimes, and you have to ask for help, and you have to do the small steps that you can. If like when a little kid or a baby is learning how to tie their shoe, you don't show them how to tie the entire knot and bow, cross and knot and bow, whatever, all at the same time. Like you show them once, and then you do the very small steps, like hold the two laces in your hand, in each hand. Boom, that's step one. That's already difficult if their dexterity's bad. Alright, cross one of the laces over the other. You get what I'm saying? So you have to do that too. You're like, oh yeah, you think to yourself, I'm an adult, I should be able to do things to a better degree. Maybe you can. And if you can, awesome. And your stats and whatever allows you to do that, your body, your mind, your whatever, are high. Your stats are high for that. Good. Then do the things. If you're struggling, I'm just trying to show that you can still do it even when there's days that you cannot. And that's what I was trying to do. Like yesterday, for example, I was like, I was sitting in there. I don't know how long I said before, but I think it was like a total of almost 3 hours or something. I was like sitting in there for like an hour and a half before I even started recording. And I was like, I need to record, and I want to record, and I wasn't able to for a while, and then I just started to, and it was very obvious, like I was very slow getting to where I wanted to be and forming my words and everything, and I'm still like that today to an extent, and I'm going to keep being like that, and hopefully doing this each day gets easier and easier. But starting it, and I'm like finally in a point in my life where I'm like to a functional brain where I'm or emotion or whatever it is, where I'm like push through the false barrier that is like it's just start the thing. And I do, and I did yesterday, and like there's parts in the universe, or maybe just things that your senses start to pay attention to, that like reminds you of something that you want to do, or something that you feel like you need to do, and you are like paying attention to it. Or this is what happens to me. I'm like paying attention to it, and I'm like, yeah, that's reminding me to start doing this thing, or doing these things that I want to do. No, I shouldn't start recording until my exercise stuff is how it used to be when I was feeling the best, or when I didn't have these other things going on. Who cares? That's the thing that I want to do in the coming recordings, is the future recordings, is just start going over the things that have happened in the last few months. And obviously I'll go through memories and dreams, and the weird, cursed, interesting, funny, silly things that happened to me. I will be going over that and telling different stories, and redescribing things like that over time. But it doesn't have to be exactly what you want it to be. Eventually it can get there, and you start that way. You're not going to end up being the exact person that you're going to be by just deciding that day that you're going to be that person. You make that decision, and you decide that, just like you're with a partner, and if you're monogamous or whatever, you decide every day that you are going to be with that person, and you choose that person every day. You choose to become the person that you want to be each day similarly, and you make the decisions and do the things that need to be done to improve your life and improve your personality or your body or your emotional state or whatever it is for you to get to where you're going to be. And if you don't, your life is just going to craft on its own, and it will go in whatever direction it goes into. And if that's the way that you want to be, well, that's good. But if you want to have specific qualities, then you use the doors that pop up in your life to get to the place that you need to be. And I should probably not speak like this. I should probably say I am doing these things. Use I instead of you, because I'm not thinking in my brain you, and I want to make these recordings as though I'm thinking in my brain. So yes, those are the things that I do. I will be eating this meal that they thoughtfully got for me when I did not ask for it, and that was just super sweet and cool. I will be talking and interacting with a few more people later. I will be remembering and writing down the dreams that I have. I had a dream the other night about someone, one of my sisters getting a car, and the dream was if they were renting this car, it was going to be $200 a day, but they would knock it down to $50 a day if she wore cleats. And just so silly, and like they were like, oh, you didn't wear cleats, so it's going to be $200, and they thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. Or just really silly dreams. I had a dream about duct tape flavored ice cream, or the silly things that happened to me, like with the phone, or there's a lot of different things that have happened to me that I can talk about. It should be really cool. What I should do is just act on the ideas that I have immediately. So if I remember in a day that I'm not recording, I remember a dream, or I remember a story, or a memory, or something that I find interesting that I want to be recorded, I should write it down and then talk about it in the very next recording. If I haven't recorded yet, then it'll be in that recording. If I've already recorded the day, then it'll be in the next day's recording. And then when I talk about it, I delete it, because there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a lot of repetitiveness and a lot of mistakes and a lot of my narrative language is going to change and not be exactly what I want it to be, but it has to start somewhere. And this is like the entire point of this for myself, is show myself that over time it becomes better. Just as you get in shape, whatever age you are, it goes at a certain rate based on your genetics, based on what you eat, based on your routine and the exercises that you do. And you see slow progress each day. You don't see it, but other people can see it. And if you take like progress photos, or you pay attention over like a weekly or monthly or bi-monthly time or whatever it is, then you will notice. Just like you don't notice that when you've trimmed a tree for your house, or you're growing up, and you don't notice like, oh dang, I'm getting taller, or I'm getting, my hair's growing, or the tree is out of control. Like, well, this branch got that far along and all these leaves on it in just 1 week. Yeah, if you put a time lapse in with a recording device to show the tree branch growing, you would see it. But if you were watching it yourself the entire time, like let's say you could have your eyes glued open and you were watching it and you wouldn't become tired or whatever, you watched it, you wouldn't even notice it growing. Just like partners might not notice certain things, or people are around you a lot, or small details are hard to see, but in a long-term way, huge strides are made. And just like anything else, this recording stuff is going to be one of those things that I do. I've been putting it off forever. I put a lot of things off, not because I'm lazy. I get to things and I do things each day, even if it's just one small thing a day, even if it's just crossing the shoelace, or even if it's just holding one of the shoelaces, just looking at the aglet at the end of a shoelace. It's starting. It's doing what you can do. Things on my lists that I'll go into more detail at another time. The things are just, they get added faster than they get removed. There's things on there that take months to catch up to and do to the extent that I want to do them. Like I said, there's things on there that preclude me from getting other things started. Let's say a thing on my list is to get 5 tattoos. I'm not going to get all the 5 tattoos done at once. I'm not like super wealthy or anything. Or let's say you could do that in a day, but your skin's not going to tolerate that in a day. So the barrier for that is time or money or design choice or whatever. The barrier to this is different based on a different person. For me, it's doing a functional thing that I want to do rather than telling myself in my brain that my future self will do it, which is just so comforting. Yes, I will do it in the future. Bitch, it's been like 15 years. Come on. I'll do it in the future? No, I won't. I could blink and be on a rocking chair in a front yard somewhere, and I'm 99 years old. It's not just going to happen. It's not going to get done for me. I have to do it. Future self doesn't exist to me right now. Present self exists, so let's do it. Increase the present self every day. Your nails are long and gross and disgusting, cut them that day. Don't say you're going to do it another day. And I haven't brushed my teeth. Okay, do it. If you have the means to do it, do it right now. It's so easy to say that. It's so hypocritical because that's what I try to tell myself. Like when I'm sure other people do this. I'm going to do a thing. Got to convince your brain to do that thing. At the very least, it's just funny seeing me go on different tangents. I bet that's going to be interesting for whoever decides to view this or whatever, or listen to this. It's going to be interesting to me at the very least. That's what I'm looking forward to, just like seeing the characterization of my thoughts into words, not on paper. Because it's so weird how there's so many ways that your thoughts are interpreted, right? There's my thoughts in my own head. Then, like a sci-fi way, that would be my thoughts in someone else's head if they could read minds telepathically. Then there's my thoughts spoken in a recording to myself, which is, I like this right now, I guess. It's not perfectly just thoughts coming out of my mouth. So that's a different way with spoken linguistics. Then there's written thoughts that are, for me, in English. So that's going to be different based on like my penmanship quickness and how I write. If my writing style is similar to my speaking, which for me over the years has become that way, so that's good. My writing is pretty similar. I'd say like probably around like 90-95% similar to how I speak or think. It's probably like a combination between how I speak and think is what my writing looks like. And then how someone else writes quick notes about me, if they're writing notes about what we're talking about, looks even different, even significantly more different. And then there's me telling stories to people that I've known for such a long time, or different relationships with people that I have, telling them things going on, instead of talking to the recording, is going to sound different than it is in the recording or the writing or my thoughts or anything else. It's super, like, insanely interesting to me. And yeah, there's a lot of different parts of people's lives that they don't go into. Like, I could sit there I could have an extremely poor trichotillomania time where I am finished, am cleaning up from eating my food, so I'm like rinsing off and cleaning dishes, and I'm just like, I have an extremely compelling, addictive feeling in my body, and I'm like curling my toes right now, close my eyes thinking about it. But the trichotillomania is like kicking in, and it's like you have to pull out this specific hair on your face, and it's like pinpointed with the exact correct the exact what's the word? I want to say blueprints, but that's not what it is. Coordinates. The fucking latitude and longitude and surface area on my face pinpointed exactly with a perfect laser, and then I use instant transmission Dragon Ball style to get my thumb and pointer finger to that hair and touch it until it's ready to be plucked in a certain fashion with a certain tiny sound that like my skin or my ear can hear and my body can feel. And it's like you have to do this, and you have to do it for until I'm done. The thing going on with me is like until I'm done. And it's extremely difficult to not do it. And I think I showed the little object, and I have other little objects. Like I have a tiny cube. I have like these little baby blocks. I have like a little spring that I move my hand to try not to do that if I'm watching a movie or something, or talking or thinking. That's when it happens a lot of times. And it's like I'm standing there, not even finished rinsing off dishes, and I have to pluck at my face, rip my fucking face off for 2 hours. That's happened before, where I'm standing there for like 2-3 hours. I know it sounds unrealistic and not true, and yes, I like to be dramatic for fun, but I'm not really being dramatic. It's somewhere in the realm of like 2 hours where I'll be standing there, and my shins will start to hurt because my lower body does not move at all, like around my hips down. Like my legs become extremely numb. If I start to walk, I have to hold on to my legs because I'm in place for so long. I don't know why I'm going on this tangent for no reason. What was I even talking about? I don't know. Was it about things in your life that people don't think about are huge parts of your life? I think that's what it was. I've been trying to remember my past thoughts before tangents better in the last like year. I've been trying to do that better, and sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to listen in a recording about for me having conversations with people, maybe record with something else, because the dynamic of how I talk with my mom or my nan or my sister or my friend or my other friend or whatever, the cats or myself, is so drastically, not like completely different, like my personality's the same, but how I divulge and describe information to them depicted is just extremely similar and almost exactly the same, but slight different nuances. I don't know, I was using alliteration there, and I don't know why my body is feeling so weird and my fingers and toes need to be curled up. But yeah, record an hour a day. Do not stop the recording. Try to stay on topic. What was I talking about? I did it again. It's another reason why people don't start, because they're like, I cannot, not they. I know I keep saying why people don't start, why I haven't started, is because I'm like, recording isn't going to be the same as things that I know of on YouTube, where they're pretty good at getting out the information they want to get out. Okay, well, that's fine, and I will become good at it over time. And that's all that should matter to me, and that's what I'm trying to do to push myself through it. For the third or fourth time, what was I talking about? That there's things in life that people don't realize. Yes, 2 hours out of my day might be ripping my face off, or you put on your deodorant each day, you brush your teeth a specific way that other people don't. During the day, when the sun's at its highest, I like to go out and absorb the sunlight, and it feels like it's like photosynthesis, because that's what I'm imagining in my brain when I do it, as like a weird emotional body mind connection, I don't know how to describe it, with the sun, where I'm just like feeling it on my hands and feeling it on my face and my facial hair and my eyes. Or part of your day could be you're watching a few hours of YouTube or playing a few hours of games, or maybe you're someone that likes to read, or you have like a lot of things that you like to do. Maybe you're talking to friends or family or scrolling on something. It's interesting. Like while I'm doing this, like looking at trees and like how they slightly move is interesting. Or details of things I don't necessarily notice in the moment. Try to be present. It's interesting, like I was doing yesterday. There's a lot of things to pay attention to. I think it would be really interesting to describe like my day to day, because it becomes so apparent that each day is so similar. Not for everybody, right? Some people have the luxury of their days being very different based on their lifestyle or their monetary amount or their what interesting things happen to them, or what random universal doors pop open for them that day that they walk through. And I think it is very interesting, and that's why like streaming is a thing where people are very interested in the reality of someone else, because you can get so caught up in the reality of your brain and your perception and the dynamic that you have with everything in your life, from a tree to your sibling or whatever it is. You get caught up in things that you want or need, or the stresses or the anxieties or your constant thoughts or your constant depressive energy or your gaslit experiences that that's not what's happening. It's not the reality. Get caught up in that stuff. Don't get caught up in that stuff. Do what you feel needs to be done. Here we go again. I will be doing what I need to do. Even on days that I can't fully do it, it should be broken down. Once I go over at least one of these, I will reference my list. My lists probably hundreds of times throughout these recordings. One of these times, I'm going to spend like the entire time really going into detail, full detail about what I mean with these lists and why it becomes extremely overwhelming and not able to be held up and not possible to do. And just like I would suggest to somebody else, I have to break it down into the smallest amounts, and I have done that, and I was doing that for about 2 years straight, and I was doing really good with it. And other things happened, stopped me. I stopped. Not things stopped me. I stopped because of circumstances of myself. So it was me, no one else. Stopped doing the regular things that I needed to do for myself, that I had a plan of. And I'm getting back to it now, and it's not going to stop. And I said this before, and I'm just as dramatically and sincerely stating that it's going to keep happening. Keep going with it. I fail. I keep saying you. Fail. That's fine. That's how I learn. I become better. I stopped doing the thing. It's fine. Now I'm not going to stop. Hold myself accountable and keep going. Don't think about how you might. I will not be thinking about how I might stop again. Adhere to what I'm doing. Things push back, make it difficult, that's fine. It's how I will be learning, and I'm always learning, and I'm always becoming better, and I'm going to always be doing this because it needs to be done.